What up, Earthbound Army? Welcome back to another video. This time we're not talking about NFTs, but we're talking about Earth2, back on the Earth2 bandwagon just for this video for now. Okay, so over the past couple of weeks, there's been a torrent of videos talking about why Earth2 is a scam, why you shouldn't invest in it, why this is the biggest Ponzi scheme in video game history ever. And this video is not really about trying to refute anything that they've said, okay? I understand that a lot of people in the community are trying to kind of push the argument that it is not, everyone, all the content creators are doing their part to try and refute the claims of the scam videos saying that it is a Ponzi scheme and don't invest. I just want to give my 2 cents and stay tuned, because towards the end I also visit the Discord and see some of the responses from Shane and Nathaniel about this whole drama about the scam videos coming out and their response, and something to look forward to in the coming week with a new video. I just want to say that I am an early investor, okay? I came in around January, so if you look at my playlist, my first Earth2 video was in January. I sunk about $250 into this game and I've not put in any more since. I'm not in it to flip. I just love the idea. I saw their Facebook ad and the Ready Player One universe. I watched the movie twice when it came out. I just really loved that whole concept of a metaverse, and the project kind of spoke to me because this is the future. This is how I see the future playing out, and I wanted to be part of a project that was ambitious, that didn't promise but aspired to be the Ready Player One metaverse that, in my mind, I hoped to experience one day using VR technology. So that's why I jumped on the bandwagon and invested that small amount. It wasn't a get rich quick scheme for me, okay? Even though I saw the dollar amount of certain land tiles just pump ridiculously, it didn't bother me. So this is my account. Nothing spectacular, nothing exciting. 1,600 tiles, net worth of 1,700. I'm not an Aria Realty with like over 500,000. I'm not a Dork Slayer. I'm not one of these big players, the Joker or whatever. Like, I'm not even up to date with all the people that are involved in Earth2 at the moment. So I'm a small fry despite starting in January. Could I have made a ton of money? Yeah, probably. But I wasn't in it to flip. I was in it because I believed in the project. And if you got in it because you believed in the project, then there's a reason why you should stay with the project and not feel like these new scam videos coming out should sway you or convince you otherwise. But ultimately, this is not financial advice, right? You do whatever you think is best for your money, for your situation. So for me, $250, I appreciate that I have the privilege of saying that if I lost all that, it wouldn't bother me. I would be more disappointed that my dream of this metaverse, that this project that I've backed, hasn't come to fruition. That would be the most disappointing part. Not the fact that I've lost $250, but the fact that I actually can't play and build in this metaverse. So if we can all agree that we are investors in the project of Earth2, then we need to at least consider the fundamentals. Whether you're investing in stocks, crypto, startup projects like Earth2, then you need to consider a few aspects of fundamentals. The first one being the team. One of the big criticisms that was labeled within the Earth2 scam videos was that the founder, Shane Isaac, didn't have a really impressive resume, okay? Saying that, he has over 20 years of experience, but when they go to his LinkedIn and the app that he's created, the XYZ app, they're saying that that wasn't very impressive. And, I potentially can agree with that, though in the Discord later, he does have a response to that, which I think is very important. But yeah, overall, from my very basic I'm not immersed in this world, so I don't know specifically his team and how skilled they are. But, Wolfgang has a history in the Settlers, Ralph, I don't know, Nathaniel and Farhan with their drone game. Now, I'm not saying what they've done isn't impressive. What I'm saying is, for what Earth2 is trying to do, this really ambitious, immersive, Ready Player One universe, like the current crop of team members doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me. And I'm just being straight up and honest with you. Doesn't mean they can't do it. their past history doesn't dictate what they can do in the future, right? And Shane says something really important later in the Discord. But yeah, just because you haven't worked on like big name global brand games doesn't mean that you can't still aspire to achieve something great and big. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates weren't always Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, right? They started off in their garage, backyard, small. No one knew what they were doing, but they still produced something magnificent. So in that sense, yeah, you can kind of pick on Shane, but I don't think that's appropriate. So that's the first part of the fundamentals when you have to look at a Kickstarter project or an investment that you're deciding to put money into the team. Now, the second fundamental factor you need to consider is roadmap. Okay, like any good crypto, any good investment company, they have a roadmap, what you can expect, launch of this, launch of that, blah blah blah. Now, I think Earth2 lacks a roadmap, but Shane does drip feed us. He said Essence in April, right? And that never happened. Now, I said this in Earth2 Meta's video. I commented, I said having a roadmap is a kind of double-edged sword. If you don't have a roadmap, the community and people that think it's a scam will say, well, why aren't you letting the community, your investors, people that put money into your project know where you're at, what you're up to, and when you expect to achieve certain goals. The other flip side to that is if you do have a roadmap and you don't produce the goods at a certain time, then the community will also be in an uproar, i.e. Essence in April. That was delayed, and everyone came out of the woodworks complaining about why no Essence, when phase 2. It's a double-edged sword in that aspect, and personally, I guess it's personal preference, right? Personally, I would still want a roadmap. I want to know what their plans are. I don't know why they're keeping this so close to their hearts, and I'm wondering, is it because of that second point where if they keep moving the goalposts, the community will be in uproar. So to avoid that, they're just having no roadmap at all. The other fundamental part is partnerships. Does Earth2 have major partnerships? Are they continually developing partnerships with big brands, big names? And for the most part, they've worked with Mapbox, which is kind of a given, right? If you're going to build like an Earth2, they need a map, and it just makes sense to partner up with existing services. Now, the other kind of partnerships have mainly just been business as usual kind of stuff, like help desk, commercial partnerships with MasterCard, which, like I said, I'm not a flipper. I'm not in here for making quick money. So it doesn't really inspire me that they've partnered up with MasterCard to create a card where you can easily transact and put money in and take money out. So in that sense, yeah, don't care for it, right? Goals met is another fundamental. So far, yes and no. It's a 50-50 toss of the coin on that one. When phase 2, when Essence, people are always asking about that. They've kind of given us videos, they're giving us the Easter egg, but that's kind of more stopgaps more than actual goals met, because essentially we don't have a roadmap, so no goals. And one of the most important things in investing in a company is whether it solves a problem, whether it meets a need of society and of the community. And if you think about it, and if you really believe in cryptocurrency, you believe in blockchain technology, and you believe in all that stuff in the future, and you're a futurist, and you believe that VR is the way we're going in the future, then yes, Earth2 meets that need, right? I imagine in 5 to 10 years we'll just be going to work with our goggles on, we'll meet our colleagues virtually and we'll interact virtually in that space. We'll live a decent portion of our lives online. We already do it with Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube and everything else. Like, I'm putting my life online. So eventually it's just going to get more immersive, and I believe that Earth2 fills that niche, that market area, and it does solve that problem. It does provide a service that is needed in the future. So in that sense, yes, fundamentally, Earth2 does meet that criteria for me. Now, the last thing I want to say is I know a lot of people that invested in Earth2 are also crypto people. I've seen it in the forums, I've seen it on the Facebook chats. A lot of you guys love your crypto. Now, the thing is, if you believe in crypto, blockchain, NFTs, and Earth2 will eventually go down that path, you guys can buy and hold crypto for years, for months even, without a complaint. And yet, when it comes to Earth2, you guys are always rushing. Okay, you guys are always rushing, pushing them to provide you with more. Like, Shane does occasionally come out and give us updates, like, but that's apparently not enough for people. So I just find it a discrepancy between crypto holders where they can hold coins for years on end, and it only goes up incrementally, right? And be satisfied and okay with that. But when it comes to something ambitious as Earth2, knowing that eventually it will also be on the blockchain, you guys are just pushing so hard for them to rush things out. So I just want to say that, I hold coins for a long time. And it's worked out for me. And also my take on Earth2 is I'm just holding as well. I sunk $250 in and I'm holding. I'm not buying any more. If you want, you can kind of dollar cost average your tiles if you want to. But you just hold, guys. Like, there's no big rush, especially for something this gigantic, this expansive, this ambitious. So yeah, that's just my take on it. Okay, so jumping into Discord, it was great to see Shane in there. Look, I'm not in the Discord often, but with all these scam videos, I thought it'd be interesting to see what Shane has to say, and he kind of jumped into the Discord just to say hello, apparently. But it was a great opportunity for him to answer some of the questions. Now, mine says, I know you're probably working hard for us and the company, but can you give us some weapons to fight those who try to, say this is a scam? And Shane is saying, we are working hard on a statement so people can at least share something when needed. Thank you for your support. Unfortunately, success brings this type of behavior out of some people looking for views to sell ads and make some dollars. But yes, we are working on a statement that we will add to our website over the coming days that can capture the coming days that people can refer to. So at least Shane is acknowledging this, right? He's saying, yep, we're working on something. We want to help the community combat the toxic stuff, the skepticism, the notion that Earth2 was a scam, and they're going to have something that we can point to in the future. Hopefully, it will be very soon. Now, another thing Shane goes on to say is they're going to release a progress video this week sometime, showing the game engine, real-time game engine, so people can't claim it's being pre-rendered video. So can't wait for that. Let's see what that looks like. So there will be a hiring page launched next week if all goes well. So anyone looking for a job. Now Faris says that he thinks there needs to be another dev stream just to kind of assist with people calling the scam. And Shane says, people making these will just continue to do so. They're only interested in speculating on negative things while ignoring plausible explanation. Now, while I also agree with Shane on that one, I do think that him showing his face more often would be good. I think they should do a regular, I'm not going to say weekly, but maybe fortnightly stream or a video. Like Shane, I don't know how long he takes to write these really long announcements, but surely that can be said like in 2 minutes via video, and people get to see his face, but reading these long announcements but that feel like they don't go anywhere just does a real disservice to the whole project. They really need a PR person, and I think Shane later on says that they are working on one. They're speaking to someone in San Francisco or something, or a team. Now, this is a good question by this person talking about whether we can get weekly patch notes, and I think this is going to be a big advantage. Shane does actually say that he's been creating and keeping patch notes since December last year, and he thinks they should be included in the next update and updates moving forward. So that'd be awesome if we can get patch notes on what they're working on and the progress. So Shane is still kind of fighting the fires, right? Putting out the fires. People are saying, it's a shame that these people are making these scam videos just for a few dollars, and Shane's like, yeah, they sell their souls. I can understand that they want to pick on something that is legitimately a scam, but we have literally been working for months on fixing our growth issues. If this was a scam, we would have been gone a long time ago. So there you go, Shane doing his best to kind of put out the fires. So another user says, is there anything you can say to address those that have called it a Ponzi? And Shane says, well, a Ponzi scheme is something where you don't have enough revenue to pay out people when they request their money, right? So you need to use incoming funds to pay out requests as that money comes in. We have more than enough money to pay out every single user should they require their money out, and we are not a Ponzi scam. It's just scaremongering that sells, and I suppose they do not understand how our business model works. The thing is, not many people know how the business model works, and rightfully so. Every business should have a level of confidentiality and a level of trust. We don't know how their business model works, and that's fine too. Now, another thing is Hazy says that a lot of people or a lot of videos are criticizing his background and his lack of experience. Now, his answer to that is, I was involved in various projects. I worked on the VoIP software and owned a voice over IP company, worked in business development, marketing, etc. I know they are picking on me and my background, but at some point in time, every successful person was unknown. True. Based on their approach, only rich and famous people should be allowed to create something new and inspiring, meaning anyone else should perhaps not even try. They would use products every day created by people like me who stuck their necks out and worked to create something different, yet they do not want to look at it that way. So Shane has a point, right? The scammers, not the scammers, sorry, the people who made the scam videos would argue that what they probably wanted to see was Shane working on big successful ventures, big successful projects, to instill that level of confidence in the people that invested in Earth2. So this person says that many of the YouTubers have said the biggest issue is that there's no gameplay and never will be. And he's just asking Shane for a response. Shane says, yes, well, we will show some things we are working on, but whatever we show, they'll also pick on and focus on something else because that is their agenda here. So hopefully we see something soon. I think Nathaniel says that there's going to be a video releasing next week or this week. Now, this part is the juicy part because Big Fry, one of the people that made those scam videos, all right, he jumped in and he said, he asked a question. He says, my question to Nathaniel Shane, in your opinion, rough estimate, I do know that game development is finicky business, but when would you estimate that your Ready Player One experience will be playable and functional? Okay, so, I mean, legitimate question. People want to know, but come on, let's be realistic. We know it's going to take a while, right? And Shane says, I actually didn't mind your initial video as it contained your opinion. I understand skepticism on what we are doing. We launched E2 November last year and had no idea it would take off as quickly, so we have been playing a lot of catch up over previous months, solving issues inherited from hypergrowth. I would like to chat with you, but it's almost blah, 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 blah. I've only dropped in to say, okay, so again, it doesn't answer the question, and it's kind of annoying in a way. It's like a very political response, just like, oh, because, credit to Big Fry, he just asked a basic question, and he says, look, I appreciate that game development can be finicky, but when can you estimate like your Ready Player One? And it's also a loaded question, right? Ready Player One, we've all seen the movie. We all know how intense and how crazy that movie is. Full immersive bodysuits, right? Like, we're talking about, I don't know, decades? 5 to 10 years? I mean, I don't know. But then Nathaniel jumps in and says, I kind of expected videos like yours, so we've been working on implementing all-terrain physics to showcase some first interaction where you can see, like, how this is not some noob development that patched some Unreal Unity terrain together and pre-rendered all. So, there you go. That's what he says. Big Fry says, I'd love to have a chat in the future. Was the company responsible for the defamation claim on the video? And I think Shane says, yeah, I'm not aware of any of our lawyers serving any documents to you for defamation. So Big Fry asks a follow-up question. He says, do you have anything to point to in terms of gameplay right now or in the near future? Brackets June, that you can show your supporters that actually have invested in this or something like that. Yeah, we will release a video this week showing terrain editing and driving around with a car and physics updating real time in terrain editing under the car, etc. Okay. And I really look forward to that. I have to say, I'm really keen to see that, right? Because I made a video showing the drone environmental editing. That was like 5-6 years ago, that kind of software. I can't wait to see the new version because hopefully it'll be awesome, the Earth2 version of terrain editing. So yeah, really excited for Nathaniel to release that. Now, Marky says, imagine the dev setting it up as a scam, but thinking, whoa, we got to get this. We got this. Let's keep it going. And Shane says something really poignant, and it really connects with me because I'm a father of 2 boys as well. And he says, this is not true. We were working on the terrain engine a long time ago before launching. I'm also a father of 3 kids. I don't want to be seen as a scam. It's embarrassing for my family and my children. You know what? It's like that hits a truth, right? Because when you put your family's reputation, your reputation is fine, but when you put your family's reputation on the line and your kids' reputation on the line and be connected with a scam that has scammed millions of dollars from people all over the globe, you put your face out there, you put your name out there, you would be an absolute scumbag if you were willing to do that. And that's why, like, maybe I'm naive, right? Maybe I have too much faith in humanity and Shane, but I don't think he would do that. I don't think he would risk that because I wouldn't want to do that. I don't think he's as a low life scumbag to just sully his name and his family's name and everything else that comes with being called a scam. So, that in itself it makes me believe that, they're working really hard on, producing something really solid. It's going to take years, guys. I've said it in the beginning of the video. Just hodl your tiles. Keep, develop your strategy. Dorkslayer has their own strategy. I'm sure all the other mega cities have their own strategies. Kraken Guild and I'm so out of touch with Earth2. I don't even know the mega cities, but they all have their strategies and they're working on it, right? And they're sticking to their guns, and good on them. But at the end of the day, if you just have faith that your tiles will eventually be on the blockchain and they'll eventually be NFTs and they'll be worth something, just hodl your tiles. That's what I'm doing. I'm hodling in my 1,600 tiles because I believe in the project. And if you're worried, then just don't sink any more money into it, okay? But yeah, like me, I'm not going to sink any more money to it. I'm going to hold my tiles and I'm going to cash out at a later stage. I'm really just keen on building on my pieces of land. I'm really looking forward to that. So anyway, this video has been long enough. I'm just rambling about bullshit now. So anyway, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.